Now at 6, Senator Evan Bayh shocks the country, announcing he will not seek re-election in November. Good evening. I'm Heather Herring.
And I'm Mark Mellinger. News Channel 15 broke the news late this morning on Wayne.com.
And at a news conference today, Bayh said he loves working for the people of Indiana, but he doesn't love Congress. First, he thanked his wife, 2 sons, his colleagues, and Hoosiers in general. Then Senator Evan Bayh revealed his surprising plans.
After all of these years, my passion for service to our fellow citizens is undiminished, but my desire to do so by serving in Congress has waned.
Bayh praised his fellow lawmakers, but says he reached the tough decision after witnessing bitter partisan disputes that have plagued Congress in recent years.
For some time, I've had a growing conviction that Congress is not operating as it should. There is much too much partisanship and not enough progress. Too much narrow ideology and not enough practical problem solving. Even at a time of enormous national challenge, the people's business is not getting done.
Following in the footsteps of his father, Birch, Bayh has spent decades in politics. As for what's next, Bayh wants to, quote, contribute to society in another way.
Creating jobs by helping to grow a business, helping guide an institution of higher learning to educate our children, or helping run a worthy, charitable, or philanthropic endeavor.
Bayh is now completing his second term in the U.S. Senate. He has served in that role since 1999. Before that, Bayh served 2 terms as Indiana's governor. He started his Indiana political career as Secretary of State in 1986. So what exactly does the future hold? Well, that remains to be seen.
But as News Channel 15's Drew Blair found out today, local politicians are expressing their shock from today's announcement.
Yes, shock is certainly the word repeated by many of those reacting to the senator's announcement. Local political experts find the news shocking because of its unexpected value and its timing ahead of November's election.
I think it's going to be a shock to a whole lot of people.
It was a shock to everyone in this country.
This is the Democrats' chance to have a political bombshell.
Senator Evan Bayh will not run for office for the first time in almost a quarter of a century. That's a career local Democrats say is deserving of high praise.
If you have not done something that's been really great, you would not be around as long as he has, and I must commend him, and I think the party commends him for the work that he's done and he's still able to do.
Now for Democrats, time is of the essence.
It's fairly late in the process. In fact, it is so late that it's highly unlikely anyone's name will appear on the ballot for the Democrats for the U.S. Senate nomination.
Area Republicans find Bayh's timing to be very telling. It comes 1 week after Dan Coates announced his bid for Senate for Republicans.
One does not surrender the crown if they believe that they are capable of winning re-election and representing the will of the people.
Allen County Republican Party leader Steve Shine says Bayh's decision makes it that much easier for a Republican to take his Senate seat. Shine says such a move could ultimately turn the Senate's power over to the right.
What once looked like an impossibility for this upcoming year is now a distinct possibility.
Political experts found Bayh's decision surprising too because he seemed to have laid the groundwork as a career politician. While it remains unknown whether the senator will ever run for an elected office again, experts don't believe we've heard the last from Evan Bayh. In Fort Wayne, Drew Blair, News Channel 15.
Well, with Evan Bayh out of the mix, that leaves 4 Republicans and so far no Democratic candidates for the May primary. The big news last week, of course, was the announcement of Dan Coates seeking his old seat in the Senate. State Senator Marlin Stutzman is also in the running, as well as former Congressman John Hostetler. Another candidate, Don Bates Jr., is a branch manager at Wachovia Securities. Friday is the filing deadline for the May primary, although Democrats would have until June 30th to find a replacement candidate. Senator Dick Lugar had this to say about the Evan Bayh news. It has been a personal privilege to serve Indiana with a distinguished father and son. I'm grateful that Birch and Evan were always ready to work with me in making certain that Hoosier wisdom and common sense had strong, united voices in every debate.
Congressman Mark Souder also shared his thoughts on today's announcement.
As a conservative Republican, it looks like this is another seat now that's going to go to the Republicans. It's a trend across the country. Evan Bayh is a good, decent man. I believe he's worked hard to represent Indiana. His family's been involved a long time. It's great news if you're a Republican.
Our coverage on Evan Bayh's announcement continues on Wayne.com. There you'll find even more reaction and analysis, as well as a statement from Indiana's GOP chair.
The city of Fort Wayne